time because people will go into retreat mode. But also, if there is holes in your business, go on the Game Changer portal, like watch every video. And it's no longer a thing where you can go, oh yeah, let's wait 180 days to implement this system, right? You need to implement it like in the next 14 days and take massive action if you want to survive, right? Because it's going to be, you know, an amazing time, but it's also going to be a crushing time for many people. So I just want to like preach that to you guys, like reach out to us if there's any holes in your business. Like if you're not tracking your weekly KPIs, like you need to track that now harder than ever. And then off the back of it, you'll find all the holes in your business very quickly. So I'm going to cover marketing. It's going to be like a lot of topics. I'm not going to go too in depth into everything. I'm going to show you what you can do, and I'll post this. What I'm seeing in the industry at the moment, and I saw this within myself before I saw it with other people. And what I saw in the industry, and I know there's going to be a few people in the room who are not along to this and watching online, is the industry's too one-dimensional, right? People were just focusing on Facebook ads. And the way that I saw this was because people would come to me as a last hope. They would go, my gym's completely fucked. Unless I get 50 clients in the next 14 days, I'm shutting. My answer with them to be is like, it can't be done. You know, you saw me like where Code 5 went from 100 members to 500 in 6 months. Those days are over in the industry. The 6-week challenge, 6-week completely like fuck that for everyone. And too many people are marketing now on Facebook. So there's no easy wins here anymore. It's just like constant daily hustle. But if you guys do it and implement all of these things, both with yourself, with a team, the good thing about this is a VA can implement all of these systems for you. Apart from the paid ads, you can teach a VA to do paid ads, but it's better you get a professional to do that, or just deal with the consequences of them learning on your dollars. But obviously they could watch the portal and stuff, but I've seen it done. It generally doesn't work too well. So I'm going to get into everything, and of course I'll share this into your portal and into the group and stuff. But I just want you to take notes more on what can everyone hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Sorry, someone said they can't hear something. More on what you're not doing and what you can add in, right? And let's start to think about how we can add it in, not about why it's too hard to add it in, because there's answers to every solution. And with the current market, only the strongest survive, right? You're going to have to continue to generate leads, because if you can't generate leads both online, offline, and organically, your gym's not going to grow. And it's going to get harder to sell when I heard the recession's here, or recession's coming. It's going to get harder to sell, which means you have to generate more leads and be more of an authority figure in the market. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to run you through a list. I've broken this down into monthly tasks, which I'll show you. I also have a checklist. It's like a daily checklist that you can do. I'm like super big on checklists. So look, at the start, you always want to make sure you have your leads goal for the month, right? So this is all based off your KPIs. How many leads do you need to have to grow every single month, right? At Code 5, in our bigger gym, it's 120. At our smaller gyms, it's 80. I know if we hit those targets, no matter what, because there's obviously variables, we're going to be okay, right? Then we track, because Instagram, like the follow, unfollow strategy, you probably see me post on my wall, people who are absolutely crushing it. They're getting like 3 to 5 signups a week, just purely organically. Do it yourself at the start, then get a VA to do it. And then we're tracking how many bot subscribers you have at the start to the end of the month, right? So this is all your KPI tracking. You can obviously track a lot more stuff on marketing. I recommend doing a marketing meeting once a month. It goes for about an hour. Where do we get our leads from? What was the quality of each lead? You can give them a score based on that, okay? So, first of all, like...
Based off what, sorry? You missed a crucial point, or we did.
So you get your lead target based off how much you need to grow. And then all your KPIs in your monthly marketing meeting, which I haven't come across any gym that's done this. and I've probably met like 500 gyms over the last like 18 months, right? But you want to break down like where your leads are coming from really specifically. You can use gym leads, or there's 1,000 other things out there, but this is why gym leads pays its money back times 500, because if you use the data, you can use the data to change your life. But you know, what leads came from your Google ads or from your website? Did those leads turn into consultations? Is there a higher percentage based on the ads that you run or where you're marketing in all these areas? And does that correlate into an area where you should spend more time? Now, guys, if you aren't tracking this, right, and I'm telling you here, every gym is different, just like every human being is different. Every area is different, right? And if you're not tracking that, you're going to follow along blindly and follow things that, like I say, for example, or Dan says that's working in their markets. But every market's a little bit different. So you really need to take ownership and track that yourself. The way we do that is essentially saying, like, you know, we got 100 leads last month, breaking down where each lead source came from, which you can do very easily in gym leads, or you have to write it down, which is a bit of a nightmare, but it's still worth doing. And what actually happened to those leads, right? Because each lead has a different value score, right? A value score on a lead generation ad might be 3, right? Meaning, you know, 1 being low, 5 being the highest. And then you have referral, which could be your big 5. So then you're like, okay, I need to spend more time on referrals, etc. I can do it like a little bit of a video on that. I've done it on my personal wall, but I'll do one custom for you guys if Dan wants me to. So first of all, with your paid traffic, you know, you want to be running your Facebook and Instagram ads and Google advertising. You know, I was so happy that, you know, Dan had the foresight to have someone on Google ads. I'm going to be super transparent. I didn't run Google ads for like 18 months because I'm an idiot and we all make dumb mistakes. But since turning those back on, we've seen a massive upside in our business. And obviously, you know, I truly believe all fitness businesses should run paid ads 365 days a year if they really want to go into a super successful company. So on top of your, you know, lead magnet or high ticket offers, which are obviously, you know, running out there at all times, you want to that fun. I showed it in the last.
We don't know what you want us to do.
Who, me?
Yeah, after you wanna, you broke up.
Oh, I want you guys to firstly run paid traffic like every day of the year. You know, Facebook and also Google. Guys, be super careful with Google because if you don't know what you're doing, you can burn a lot of money like with Facebook. I'm not a Google expert. We hire Google experts for that stuff. Now, in terms of your lead magnet funnel, which I presented a lot on, which could be, I presented it in the last talk, which for those who are on, it could be like a recipe book, right? So you want to use that to give value to your market and bring them into your messenger, start to build your list that way. And you're able to get a lot of sign-ups, a lot of people stay on. Can you just mute everyone, Dan?
Yeah.
And then stay on after, right? So we just run this at a budget between $5 and $20 per day, depending where we're at with our lead target and volume for the month in our consultation. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high, but you need to know your numbers pretty much every day on whether you're going to hit the target for the month and whether to spend. Also recommend testing and also using. It obviously depends on budget. So the way that I put this in for you guys, it's from most important to least important, right? So least important is running a likes campaign for your business. I've been doing a lot of amazing work with people who are using their personal profile to generate like a lot of leads. And one of the ways we do that is by getting people in your local area within, you know, 2 to 5 kilometers to like your business page with a basic, you know, ad for that. And then you can go into the back end of Facebook and add them as a friend from your personal account and then start a conversation with them just like you would, on Facebook Messenger if they opted in for an ad. The script's a little bit different, but this stuff is like so helpful. So if you're not adding the people as a friend who like your business from all your paid ads, you are missing like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every year. It's absolutely crazy. Any questions? I'll kind of run through everything, but do we have any questions on the paid part of it?
Jimmy, a couple of things. Number one, can you magnify your page on the screen? Would be good. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Second thing, just want to make sure everyone understood that. So what Jimmy's saying, if someone likes your business page, what do you go and do? Add them as a friend. Then you start a conversation.
I'll just show you how to do it really quickly. Because otherwise I'll be here for like 5 hours. I might just leave it, and then I have videos on how you do all this stuff anyway. Because if I showed you absolutely everything, then like it would take me a whole day to present it, you know. But essentially you can go into the back end. I will show you this because not many people know it. You can go into the back end of your page, into your settings, and you'd see a lot of people, because I work with a fair few people in Game Changers. You might have seen a few people do a page likes post, right? And the reason was because we wanted to go into here into pages and people in other, and then these are all the people that liked our page. So then you can go on, you just hover over them and just add them as a friend like that. Easy peasy. So that was I'll just show you the post, which is a completely different strategy, but you just have different strategies to produce different results based on what your goal is for the month. But if you guys go on the Code 5 page, I've seen a lot of people do this, but you need to have the back end tactics to actually make it worthwhile. Otherwise, it's just a false reading. Anyways, I'll try and find it in a second. So yeah, any other questions on the paid aspect of things?
Any questions from the room?
I see a lot of people have done, and then they'll invite all their friends and stuff like that.
No, we're good in the room and we're good online, Jimmy.
Good online? Okay, cool. Awesome. So,
Steve.
I know you said that you outsource your Google ads. There's something that has come on my radar about Google ads over the last couple of weeks called click fraud. Can you explain to us what click fraud is and how you get around it?
What's this, sorry?
Click fraud. He said, Steve said that with Google ads, something's come up on his radar about Google ads referring to click fraud. Do you know anything about click fraud?
Competition going onto your ad, clicking
yeah.
so that your ad cost goes through the roof.
Yeah. It happens on, like, it's one of the things whenever you see your other businesses ads, you always click on them. I do the same shit. Not as like vindictive. Well, it's just smart, right? That is very vindictive that way. So like actually searching for business and stuff, I don't know anyone that would do that, but to answer your question, no, I've never encountered it. We hired a Google ad expert who works at Legacy, so I'll ask him tomorrow and I'll get back on you. But this stuff like is real. It's like, you know, how you can hire VAs to leave like 100 bad reviews on people's pages and stuff for like $300 if you want. I wouldn't let it stop you from doing it, but what you really need to do, Steve, is to track your weekly stats. Say you spent $50 on Google ads, and then how many of those leads with all the analytics, how many of those leads turned into trials, which you can track. And you'll pick up whether it's happening. Then based off if it happens to you, which I think is like a really big long shot, then you can adjust and we can find the tactics for that. But no, I don't have an answer to it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you're tracking your weekly stats, like you'll be fine. But yes, this stuff does happen. It's more vindictive though. Usually not local gyms unless you've really pissed someone off.
Anyone that's got a gym around Code 5 though, be wary.
Well, guys, it works on two fronts, right? Because I'm not doing it to, you know, rip off the local gym owners, like, because it's like $2, $3 a click, right? But you want to know what they're marketing. You want to know what their landing pages look like. Are they running lead generation forms? It's just like how you go into every other local gym and train there. It's just like doing
Research.
what's out there. So, our VAs go through all the other local businesses once a month, and they'll find out what ads they're running, what their offers are, because we never want our offers to conflict, right? And what happens a lot is people, especially with our female ads, obviously I won't see them and our staff aren't smart enough and we don't, get them all worked up to actually check and send us the ads. So you just go on and you have a look at what all your, your main competitors are running. And then you adjust. It's just like when F45 8-week challenge comes, not a good time to run challenge offers around that time because we have like 6 F45s around to say flood the market, So I think that's good business practice to check them out. But on Facebook, like with the frequency, you can't do it as maliciously as going on Google and actually searching the area, because you could search off multiple IPs off Google and then really cost them a lot of money, but it doesn't really work like that on Facebook unless they're spending massive budgets. Any other questions on Instagram or I don't know anything about Google Ads. I have a guy who I hired for that, but any other questions on paid marketing at all? Nope. Okay, cool. All right. So next, so your Instagram. So, on this is, I've done in here what's applicable to the gym, not what's best practice. Because obviously with best practice, it's like posting twice a day. Now, in terms of that, we've got to have like what's best practice and also what's applicable for the gym owner or the virtual assistant or the staff that's doing this in terms of quality content. So I've started to use this strategy a lot, especially with like my personal feeds and stuff like that. And then also we've transferred it a lot to businesses. So on your posts, and this is all monthly, guys. So, you're going to be posting 3 times a week on your Instagram wall. That's at a minimum, right? The best type of post I like now in terms of getting really high qualified leads and people coming to you is firstly what results someone achieved. So, say it might be Josh and, Josh lost 10 kilos at Code 5 and, he did all these amazing things. So that would just be your straight testimonial post, might have a weight plate or before and after, or, can just have a photo of them training. But the next post is a little bit more in depth because we're starting to layer it here. So let's say Dan has firstly seen what Josh has achieved, right? Which is, losing 10 kilos, absolutely amazing. The thing Dan's wondering in his head is, can I do that myself? Right? Is it possible? Is it a program? Everyone's tried a fitness program pretty much. So the next post you want to follow up on is how Josh achieved that goal, right? So, we like a post for Josh, he lost 10 kilos. Do you want to know how he did it? Read below. Josh did, 132 sessions over 26 weeks at Code 5. He wore his MyZone and burnt X amount of MEPs. He followed this meal plan specifically and had his coach, Michaela, help him do X, X, and X. So you're then just saying, as a broad overview of how you help Josh do that, get that result. Now, both of these, the what and how, are really great because you can bypass all the needs for testimonials because you can write them on Josh's behalf. It cuts down all the bullshit layers of like, we don't have enough content or testimonials because it's you. It's like that star story solution. It's you writing what happened. So it's super easy to do as long as you have their permission. And the next one is video proof, right? Of Josh saying what he achieved, right? It can go for a minute. It can go for 20 minutes, but you're just following up with that. Now, the good thing is, guys, in this program is I've mixed what's best practice with what's actually applicable and you guys can do as of tomorrow, right? So these Instagram and personal pages and Facebook organic, you can just copy and paste them on all 3, right? You can use it on your LinkedIn and stuff, which I'll talk about in a second as well. Just because I understand where gym owners are at, we aren't content creators and I don't want you to spend hours and hours every single day making different pieces of content for each platform, even though that is best practice, because you still have to run a business and you don't have $1 million marketing teams. Okay. Now, the next one is you want to post your stories. So, post at least 2 stories a day, images of your community or, really educational videos. You can break them up using Cut Story. You either want to be like solving a need, showing your community, or showing the results, that you achieve, right? The next one, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you want to post an offer in your Instagram story. The offer, we use a lot with our guys is like a free 7-day trial, completely breaks a barrier to entry. Again, you just want to test and measure it. Use a lot of different things. If you guys aren't, super up to date on Instagram, it's really time you start using it. You can do different call to actions like, use a link in our bio, message us now. You can do polls, kind of like everything like that. Okay. The next one is you want to message all new followers from the previous day with an intro. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of a guerrilla marketing tactic here. I must admit, I have changed it because I got called out.
You got called out
in the fitness industry with following other local gyms. He's like, maybe change that. To be super transparent is I just want you guys to do this. So I'm super comfortable with my business following other gyms and talking to their members, right? But that's me. And I understood what Justin said, where he's like, that might not fit in everyone's, what they want to do and how they want to act in the area, which is totally cool, guys, because you can just follow people from local cafes, right? But what you're going to do is you'll follow 50 people a day. Now, my best people who are doing this is they're following about 160 people per day from another gym or a local business. Let's call it a local, cafe or your biggest rival gym. You're going on, finding their followers and just following them in blocks of 40. Don't do more than 40. Don't risk your account getting shadow banned, right? Then we're just creating a message. I can help you guys create this. It's just, hey guys, thank you so much for following our page. Do you live or work near Brookvale? Bang. Then you can follow on with the scripts. That's why I'm so big on these messenger scripts, because we're using it on so many fronts now: Facebook, paid, Instagram, LinkedIn, like everything. So you really need to get your hands into that. The next one is on a Wednesday, because you're posting your 2 stories per week. On a Wednesday, you can go in and you can view everyone who viewed your story. If you haven't followed them before, is you can give them a follow, because people really like when you follow them, right? Don't worry about your follower ratio, about how many people are following you over, how many people you're following. You're a local business. You're not an influencer. Don't get caught up on it, because you're going to make so much money by following these 200 people a day that you'll just look at people and laugh, who go, oh, wow, you're following 6,000 people and only 4,000 are following you back. It's like, yeah, well, I have $1 million gym. So there you go. Right. But that's something that a lot of people say. With your DMs is you're going through all the people who viewed your story. You're looking if you started a conversation with them. If you haven't started a conversation with them, simply just thank them for viewing your story. If they're a client or you have started a conversation with them, you just follow on nicely, depending on where the situation's at. With our clients, we won't message them. With people who are not clients, if we haven't messaged them in the last 5 to 14 days, is we'll just thank them for watching and see how things have been, in their life. A different kind of tactic that's not on here, but always reposting, like you saw, Dan posted my, posted about me before. Just always sharing that stuff. All your user generated content is awesome. Trying to get you so they generate your content. Can you hear me?
Yeah, broke up. Trying to get as much user generated content as you can. If your clients tag you in anything, if you share it, obviously just share it and say thank you. If they do tag you and you don't share it, just be like, hey, Jimmy, thanks so much for tagging us. Our wall was full for today, or our story was full. Please keep tagging us, and you get a $20 off voucher. We give it away every 14 days, or whatever your offer might be. But that's how you'll create a lot of user generated content. Don't post everything, because a lot of the clients post shit ass stuff.
you need to screen it. And then if you don't repost them, just let them know. Just say it was full for the day, right? And then just kind of move on. And then, of course, guys, just in your story bio, right? Very, very simple stuff. Now, this in itself, like as you get really quick, will probably take you about 20 minutes a day, depending how quick you are with your content. Now, a lot of this will be covered in the personal wall and Facebook organic. But does anyone have any questions about Instagram at all?
Anyone online or in the room? Questions about Insta? No.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you determine who you're following? How do you find out if they are in your local area?
We ask them. We don't have time to go through and screen everyone's profile. It'll be an 8-hour a day job. So we just will follow 40. Of course, some people are out of the area. We don't follow other gyms. That's usually pretty easy to tell. But we'll simply follow them. If they follow them back, it's the first question we ask.
Yeah, we just say, do you work or live near?
Say again, sorry?
With us, we just say, do you live or work near Minchinbury straight away? That way you screen them out.
Yeah.
But now you've got an online option.
No, you got an online option.
So you can have that.
So you can. Yeah. So what else is, do you live or work near a particular area? As a question, but also because a lot of these guys are pushing the online component.
I know, it's amazing, hey. So great. Well, this way is the best way to build online as well. Until you close like 20K in sales, I wouldn't spend any money on paid traffic online. If you want to go broad, local's different. So yeah, essentially, in all of our scripts, guys, you probably heard me regurgitate it heaps, but you don't pick it up. In all of our phone scripts, messaging scripts, like it's our highest priority to make sure they're in the area so we don't.
So we don't?
All scripts kind of at the start of the
Wait.
just to make sure, because we've wasted time. Yep.
The number one rule that they shouldn't do, what was it?
Oh, I'm saying the number one thing we do is we always ask if they live or work in the local area.
Yeah. And what don't you do?
Well, we just, I don't know, I'm not sure what I said about don't. It just doesn't waste our time and doesn't waste their time as well. If we have nothing to sell them, we're not going to waste time on them or us. You know what I mean? It just saves each other fucking heaps of time. If they're like, oh, I live in Penrith, like, oh, cool. Awesome. I love the Panthers. Have a good day. Just move on.
Go local sporting team.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So on this, and this is something that, I see some gym owners do, some gym owners don't use their personal wall. So, if you don't want to use your personal wall, that's totally cool, right? I get it. I use my personal wall. I have business partners who don't want to use their personal wall. Okay. Because we have friends and family and stuff like that. If you don't want to use your personal wall, please just make a dummy account that's like at least ThinkFit, for example, and start to use that to actually grow your business with local people. Because I'm telling you, if you have 5,000 targeted people in your area and you're deleting the people off your personal Facebook who aren't in Minchinbury, you are going to crush it in the short term and the long term, because that is just an amazing market to have with all this organic kind of stuff. But you need to be using your personal wall, right? Now, on your personal wall, if you guys are going to start a new account, you need to reach out to me privately, because there's a lot of restraints on how quickly you can grow it and things like that. If you're going to use your own personal wall, just go hell for leather, right? On your personal wall, all I believe we need to post is client wins and success stories. 3 of them a week. Whether they've quit coffee, lost 10 kilos, got back into training, whatever it might be, just post client wins with a photo of you and the client, or the client training, or a relevant picture, right? Keep it super simple so you look like the authority in the market that's helping people change their life, right? Next, you want to start 100 conversations on private messenger. Look, this is per month, right? So it's like 25 a week. It's broken down to 5 a day. Right. So to do this, you have to actually follow all the steps above, where you're, going into your Facebook business page and following people, right? If you have a business partner, we need to make a customized strategy for you, because you can get one business partner to do one thing, one business partner to do the other thing, because when business partnerships work in unison on
Really well.
things that your staff won't do, right? But it's absolutely amazing. So the scripts we've talked about. So you want to post one offer in local groups per month. So, go do some research. Obviously, we've got around us like Northern Beaches Health and Fitness, which we own, which I'm going to cover. But you've got like Northern Beaches Buy Swap Sell, Northern Beaches Mums, like so many groups in your area. You guys need to get in them, find out the rules. You can often pay to post on a few of them. If not, just post stuff up, just make sure you follow the group rule posts. And this is also an amazing place where when you're sending your 20, friend requests per day, is spending time in these groups for like 10 minutes a day, replying to a few comments, talking to people about what's happening in the area, and then adding them as a friend is a great way to start a conversation, and it's honestly just like Tinder. You're there, you've never seen this person, you got a photo, just start an open, transparent conversation with them. Don't be afraid of rejection, and you'll see amazing results in your business. Now, the stories and the offer in your personal wall and stories is the exact same as Instagram, right? So all you guys need to do is to copy the Instagram story posts you're doing, save them, and then just post them in your personal wall as well. Keep it super simple. Don't overcomplicate the funnel, because you fucking just won't do it if you overcomplicate it, right? I've tried to complicate it. Trust me, I've wanted let's do all these different posting. I'm just giving you guys stuff that you can implement in your business tomorrow and not make any excuses as to why you can't do it. So that's what we copy and paste, but it's not best practice. But you're never going to do best practice anyway, because you don't have enough time to make all this crazy different content, right? Then you want to add, 400 people from people who like your page. So we need to create some automated strategies for you guys every 60 to 90 days where you can promote people to invite people to like your page, right? You can obviously do it a paid way. It costs you about $2 to $4 to get someone to like your page. But on your personal page, you've probably only got a couple of thousand people who actually like your business. It's usually not massive amounts, right? Is you'll clear through that list pretty quickly. Once you clear through it, you can reach out to myself or Dan, and we'll give you another strategy to, add another X amount of likes. I think, is Elise in the room?
Yeah, she is.
Elise, how many people liked your business page off that really basic post we did?
1,500.
1,500. So let's say we're doing 400 a month, right? So 20 a day, then your account won't get blocked. That's like, at least, my math's not great, it's probably about 4 months worth. And then she does the same again. She's got all new members who jump on by then. And then that keeps your business likes page growing, and she doesn't have to. Any questions at all on the personal page? But guys, I want you to ask a question in the room. Who's confident posting on their personal page as it is today, or who needs to make up a dummy page that says like Jimmy Code 5 on it?
Okay. Who's confident posting on their personal page? Hands up. So probably about half the room who needs to do a dummy page for their business.
Yep.
One person.
Who didn't put their hand up?
Okay. Who has not put their hands up yet?
John David.
You'll see Fit Body Bootcamp do it really well. You'll see here Nate, FBBC, because I add all these guys to try and run their ads, but they've got a pretty good owner. So they just do it like that. Xavier, FBBC, right? It's just purely a work account where you can add people and you can post stuff that you don't want, other people to see. You don't have to add your friends on it. You can just add your clients on it, whatever. Just keep it nice and simple, guys. Just, if you do it, you're going to see massive results. And if it means taking the anxiety and the fear away, just start the new page. Do it today. You could do it, in 30 seconds. Just create a new Gmail email and just create it up. It'll be nice and easy for you guys.
Give me 2 questions from me. Number one, this looks like a lot of work. So how do you make it easy?
VA can do it all for you.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. So we get a VA and we just give them the scripts and we give them these instructions and we give them these checklists. Love it, because I'm looking at that going, yeah, that's great, but it's going to, what's that? Yep, we'll get the document. Absolutely, we will. And then we can give it to our VA. Remember, we can get VAs via Upwork, Fiverr, or have a chat to Jimmy directly on that. The second question for me is, what kind of results are some of your clients getting from following this checklist?
So on the Instagram one, it's about 3 to 5 leads like every week. So it's like 250 a year. On the personal page, I don't have like direct stats on the personal page, but I know that's the most popular.
Okay.
And I can give you my personal results, because I must admit, as much as I talk about tracking, I don't track everyone's results massively. It's just the feedback's been huge. But on like legacy alone, I run this for my personal thing, and we went from like 9 clients to 50 in the space of 12 weeks. All off this mainly this personal page one.
Yeah, and that's all high ticket as well. So
high ticket, like 1,500 a month. But I just had gym owners. You'll see my page has changed a lot. It's all business stuff. I deleted all my friends off. I message them all and go, guys, like I'm going to start a different page, or we can talk shit.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, just a show of hands.
It's on there only.
Who would like 250 leads a year extra on top of what you're already doing? All right. You just got showed how to do it. That's using just Instagram alone. Yet Jimmy just said personal war was even more than that. So let's say conservatively, that's another 300 to 400 leads a year. Who wants another 300 to 400 leads a year? All right. So he's just giving you strategies for 600 leads. All right. As you go through. Now, you can either go, this looks like a lot of work, or you can create, you've already got a process. Let's hire a DA and let's streamline this and get it done.
Yeah.
Josh.
So,
make sure your follow-up process is better. We haven't been that good at it. We've got so much going on that have people sitting there waiting a couple of days after our day. Make sure you do process yourself properly.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah.
So does this tie into your earlier presentation, Jimmy, about messenger bots? Because I was all over that. But
yeah, I'll talk about bots a little bit.
It obviously ties into your messenger bots and the speed of reply.
Yeah. So, guys, you really like to implement this fully, and you might pick a piece parts that you want to do. Say the Instagram one, you could do it right now. Please don't be in your phone as I talk shit to you guys, but you can implement parts of it now, but to implement the whole strategy, you need a full-time VA, which will cost you, like, depending where you go, differing amounts. But the money in the scheme of things for how many leads you guys get, say if you pay a VA like $1,500 a month to get someone who's skilled and trained in this, because otherwise you guys are going to have to train them in it and you probably don't know everything, you break that down to, let's call it like 40 or 50 leads, the math all makes sense for you guys to do it. But a VA implements all of this, and you can teach a VA how to do it in like a couple of months, like perfectly. Then you're just managing them.
So that will be a social media specialist VA, yeah?
Yeah. So we have VAs that the only VAs we sell now know this exact strategy, and I personally teach them. That's all we do. We don't do any other outsourcing VAs or anything like that. It's just people who want to implement this strategy. And if they want to implement it, we can get you a VA to do it.
Okay. I've got a question, because obviously I'm all around social media. What happens with composite softwares like Hootsuite and all that sort of stuff? What's the one you use, Dan?
Buffer.
Are they useful in a strategy like this, or do you find that they're less effective on the individual platforms?
Yeah. So no one knows, Gaz. That's the thing, right? It's all hearsay based off. You read varying blogs. Is firstly identify, like, if you have a full-time VA who can post at 6 p.m. and whatever at 9, and that's from what I've read best, but it's also adjusting how are we going to get this shit done, right? And if you have to use things like Buffer and stuff like that, and it just means you get it done, just go ahead and do it, and don't worry about the very small drop in organic reach that you get, right? Because at least you're doing it. It's better to do it than not do it. But no one really knows how much the engagement drops, but there's a fair few conflicting blogs out there. I believe it does drop just based off our data, but it's nothing significant that's like completely life changing, you know? But I'd always recommend trying to post at the time yourself. It takes you like 10 minutes to post because you're posting all the same stuff, guys, across the, 3 different platforms. It takes me about 10 minutes a day to do it. I do all my own posting. I had a VA do it for a while. This is on my personal page, like Jimmy McDonald. I just wanted to teach them how to do it, but then I'm trying to write a book at the moment. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it myself. So then I can kind of peel off some stuff for a book I want to write, which I actually learn off Dan because that's how he does it.
Yeah, and you use VAs to put up your pages and whatnot.
Yeah, so a VA, and you guys have probably talked to me, and 99% of the time it's not me, it's Charlotte. When you're talking to me.
Yeah, the buses are agreeing with you.
No, well, Josh and Elise, like with the VA guys, you got to give them rules, right? So the VAs know who all my clients are and they know who all my friends are. So I'm like, if Dan Henderson messages me, don't fucking reply, please, because he's my friend. Just just message me and tell me Dan's messaged me. And it's the same with Josh and Elise because they're there, and Josh picked up on it pretty quickly because he knew when it wasn't me. Is that right, Josh?
100%.
Is it 100%?
Yeah. So then with people, right, if they're because she manages my personal page, right? Charlotte's like my queen. So she knows a lot about me, she's probably read all my messages and shit. So she probably knows more than my missus knows about me, you know? But she knows who my friends are and she knows who all my clients are. So she doesn't reply to them. Right. So you just set boundaries and ground rules with people. And they learn that over time where, she won't open any of Dan's or James's messages, and she'll just, notify me at 3 p.m. that these are the unread messages and can you, get back to Dan or Gaz or whoever it might be.
That's pretty good because I've seen Dan's messages. They're pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
This is like the corona. I'm not sure what that's reference to, but keep going, Jimmy.
Facebook organic. So this is your business page, guys. So you want to use can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
You want to post like 3 times a week. I recommend using a super signature. I got this off Dan. I'm not sure where he got it for, but it's been working really well. The reason why I really like super signatures is because you can then add links to your ManyChat. So the basics of a super signature, I'm not going to go into it massively, but you have a free offer, which could be an ebook. And then you'd have a low paid offer, which could be 28 days for $199. And then your 24-week ultimate be transformation. And then you can set up, just 3 different funnels. In ManyChat, it'll probably take you like 45 minutes to an hour to set up, but then you have them forever. And you don't really have to change your super signature too much unless you really have to. So, on those organic posts, again, it'll be the same, what, how, who up here, what, how, video proof. And then you're just adding your super signature at the bottom. I can do a video on the exact super signature. I've got it somewhere I've done along the way. Then you want to post twice per week with your lead magnet. So say you've made a lead magnet for like a recipe book. Dan has a really good one. Is you just post twice a week about that, just organically. Because when people scroll through your page, one of the things is with organic Facebook, guys, is it won't actually reach many people. And everyone kind of knows that, right? Facebook's a paid platform now. But the reason why you're posting on here and keeping it simple is you want your page to be scrollable. And if someone is like up at, 11 p.m. at night and they've come across your page somehow and they're scrolling, is you want to give them a way where you can hook them in. And having lead magnets and things of interest on there that go to a messenger bot is just your hook to get them on. Now, this Facebook organic on the page is more of a longer term strategy. It's probably the most least effective though, because the reach is really small. But because you're just posting the same stories, everything in there, you might as well just spend 2 minutes a day just adding everything up because it's not going to do you any harm. Okay. Any of your questions? So this is your Facebook page organic. Just be clear on that. That's your business page. Does anyone have any questions on that? Does everyone know what a super signature is?
I can give you guys some examples. So it's just a PS. PS, whenever you are ready, here are 3 different ways I can help you. All right. If you want to learn a little bit more of the psychology behind super signatures, type in Dean Jackson super signature. He's the founder of it. All right. And he's got like a good podcast on it. He's got some good blogs on it. Jimmy and I will share our super signatures as well.
And the good thing about the super signature, guys, that I like the best is once it's done once, it's just done forever, and it's just like a copy and paste job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend changing it all the time, you know, because it's just creating more work for yourself. Just create one good lead magnet that attracts your niche, have your offer, have your high paid, set them up with a ManyChat so they get an automated message, and then let your messenger take over. You can try different stuff though, adding websites, newsletters and stuff. All right, so on to email. So I must admit, my email game used to be really strong. Like we used to get a lot of leads, but I found it too time consuming. And as our company kind of got bigger, we veered away. So there's a guy named Paul Moore, who I believe is like the best in the game at emails. I don't even know if he does emails anymore. But he used to write daily emails. James Smith, you guys would probably all know James Smith. James Smith credits a lot of his growth to his work with Paul, right? And what James does, if you're on his emails, they're fucking absolutely hilarious, is he'll just write an email every day. It probably takes him like 15 minutes. Now that's best practice that I've seen, right? And when we did that, we used to absolutely crush it. But what happens at the time when we changed is it was Connor and myself writing them. We didn't have the time, and now we're not prepared to commit the time to start doing it again, right? But if you write daily emails really well written, like you will absolutely crush it. Follow James Smith's email. I'm sure Dan has a few people who do it as well. But that's best practice. The practice that we do that's applicable and you guys can do is firstly send a monthly newsletter to your entire database. I can get some newsletters up. I honestly recommend you guys go follow and opt into like Barry's Boot Camp, your local F45, and get their emails as well, just going to a side folder. Don't let it go to your inbox. That's on productivity, but get it to a side folder and you can just review what they're doing every month and get a few tips and tricks and ideas and try a few different things. Now, generally in our newsletter, we'll always have like a client testimonial, a client offer, what's happening around the gym, upcoming events, and any other needed necessary information. Okay. It's not absolute rocket science. It takes us like an hour to write once a month. The next ones is you want to send one email education with a nutrition tip, training tip, event, and offers. So this is done fortnightly, right? So your monthly newsletter will have client of the month, all that kind of jazz in it. This one here is just, you know, a little bit more basic, gives some value, has what's coming up, and an offer for any non-members to come in. And then you're going to have to send your ad hoc event emails as needed, which I'm going to kind of cover for you guys in a second.
Jimmy, just on that.
Our emails, we use Aweber. For legacy, we use Active Campaigns, which is much better. Code 5's happy with Aweber. It kind of does the job, but I don't believe it's the best system out there. But you need to have a big system for this. They're quite cheap to kind of get everything out and track your data and stuff. But any questions on emails at all?
Who was the guru besides James Smith? What was his name?
Paul Moore. Is that who started it, Dan? It was he did the daily emails, hey?
Filthy. His language is filthy. He's super vulgar and hilarious.
Yeah.
Under James Smith had him as a mentor. That makes sense.
So the thing is, guys, in these daily emails, or you might write 3 a week, is I would just, when I wrote mine, because I did it for like a year and a half, and I really do it again. Someone should be like, follow what you fucking know. I would just post about stuff. I'd post about walking the dogs or going to the beach and things that are happening in the environment, and always twist it to make it fitness based with like a nice lesson or something they could implement with an offer. And your engagement goes through the roof if you write it personally from someone that they know or someone they don't know, but they'll get to know you pretty well because, you know, you might post about things that are happening in your life or whatever it might be. I think it's an amazing way to market. People still do it super effectively. I know James Smith crushes it. So get on his emails. It's absolutely classic.
Fantastic. Any other questions from anyone else in the room or the virtual room?
All right. So lost leads account for like a massive amount of members every single month. A lost lead or an lost lead, someone who opted in, didn't come in for a consultation, right? Which can be upwards of 50% every single month. It's crazy, right? It's your biggest money spinner in your business at the moment today. Because they've all opted in, they're all interested. Generally, they're all local. So you need to send them a text and email offer for the first week of every month, right? We always offer our 28-day challenge. Generally, we'll do like maybe 14 days free, but you just give it a new name. Hey, we've just launched our Fit and Fierce program. Hey, we've just launched our Lean and Strong program. Whatever you want to call it, it's just the same shit, but they think it's something new, right? You can give them like free offers if you like. We do that a bit if we're not going to hit our lead target. And also as well, I want to add on, if we're not going to hit our lead target, we're not afraid to text and email these people twice per month, right? We use SMS tech because every time we do it, we get like 10 leads, but we don't want to spam them either. But this is a big tool in our bow that if we're like, oh shit, we're not hitting lead target, bang, we just bang out a text. Obviously you've got your ManyChat. You used to be able to broadcast or one of your staff, like, you know, with Charlotte, every Friday she'll go through all my messages because she messages like 200 people a day. And I'm like, Charlotte, I just want you to spend Friday going through all the messages and just finding out what you missed, because we all miss stuff. No one's perfect. And just following up on those conversations. And then once a month, she'll spend a whole day. She'll go back through all of our messages, and Jada does this at Code 5, and she'll go back to like September last year and just follow up with everyone. And it takes like a whole day to do, but you get so many consultations off the back of it. It's not funny. Then starting conversations with any lost leads, ex-members via text message, right? Just text them, stay in touch. One of my first mentors, a guy named Mark Richardson, once told me, and I totally believe this is true, that a client is only not a client when you haven't talked to them for 30 days, right? So, you know, say if you have cancellations, I use this a lot in my PT game, is I would make sure that, you know, if someone did cancel for whatever reason, is make an effort to stay in contact with them, right? If they're in the local area, they will come back. But if it's been a year and a half since you've contacted them, they probably won't. So just stay in contact with them, see how they're going, send them a blog or whatever. You only have to do 5 a day, right? You do 5 a day, that's like 100 a month. If you do 10 a day, it's like 300 a month. And it takes like 5 minutes a day to do, guys. It's super, super easy. You do it when you're doing your lead calls, or you get your sales staff to do it. Any questions on lost leads / ex-members?
Lost leads? No. Keep going.
So, and guys, I know like Dan kind of covered, right? This is going to look like a lot of fucking work for you guys, right? Because it is a lot of work, right? And we had to set this up over many years, a lot of trial and error. But it's only a lot of work when you're not doing it. When you start to get it done and, you know, you can, you know, outsource, delegate, whatever you need to do to be like, how do we get this done? Because say with the lost leads, our staff will do that for us. Like we'll have a trainer who we taught to do it. Like, hey, PJ, the start of every month, can you do this? Then we message him, hey, Paige, can you send a message to lost members, create a woofu for us? So if you guys look at it that you personally have to do it, it's going to be overwhelming. But if you think of how can you get your team members to be involved, or a VA, or outsourcing some things, you can get it all done. Just going to take a bit of time. I don't like my guys marketing for any more than an hour a day, right? And if you're super productive and you do like an hour of power, you'll be surprised how much you can get through. Joint ventures is the next one. So you always need a connection to get into joint ventures. What we'll do on a Monday is we'll send out 5 intro emails on the Tuesday, things like that. We don't outsource this a lot. Are you there?
Yep.
So we'll send 5 emails on a Monday, follow up with a call on a Tuesday. We generally don't outsource this a lot with the VAs. Like something you can add on if your VA is like super humming, is they can do joint ventures with you for other businesses on Instagram and stuff like that. Really cool way to do it. But generally with our joint ventures, it's usually the managers or the trainers implementing this, because it's we have to have a personal connection to get in, because we've wasted so much time before cold emailing and things like that. We would prefer to sit down as a team and go, all right, like, how can we have 25 ideas over the next month, or 20 ideas? Who's going to implement and action it, and trying to have a personal get in. At a school, it might be a teacher that trains at the gym or used to train at the gym. So that's generally always the managers and the owners doing this one. Okay.
That's a good question, Jimmy. More of a favour on this phenomenal list. Can you just type VA, gym manager, or personal next to each one, so we can kind of determine who's going to be doing what? It will just make this list so much more usable by people instantly. And my other question was, so Legacy, your VA specialise in Facebook only, is that correct? Or social media?
No, so the VAs now, because we kind of changed our hiring system.
Yeah.
So our VAs are only specialized in this.
In
This marketing 101 plan in joint,
Right.
and it takes time, guys, because you're not going to get anyone who's like amazing. It takes a couple of months to get them on board. Well, a couple of weeks to get good results, and then the LinkedIn kind of takes time because you have to progressively add stuff to them. But we train our VAs just in this model.
And do you have them dedicated to a platform? So one's like a LinkedIn specialist, one's an Instagram specialist, or do they carry over, crossover?
No, each gym owner will get one VA who we teach everything on how to do. So they'll be that gym's VA.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Your VAs can send emails to joint ventures if you want, but it's so quick to do because you should have them all pre-written out anyway. But the next one's like referrals, guys, which is massive. And these are like some scripted things, but I want to make sure you guys have it. So always ask a friend to bring, always ask them to bring a friend to all confirmations, to all consultations, right? So we do this at the start of the script and then the end of the script. So it's not something you do every day, but it's just got to be in your scripts, whether that's Messenger or on the phone. Always have a point of sale script during the consultation where they can invite friends. We have a piece of paper where they can like kind of, sign on and guys. Have an event where you invite all people to bring a non-member via personalized text. So, let's say it's, we can't have any events at the moment. Let's say it's beers and banter, right? Is everyone who opts in for beers and banter, which is one of our events we do like every 3 or 4 months, is everyone who books in on MindBody will message them, 5 days out, 3 days out, and ask them to bring a friend along for free. Just an easy way to introduce people to your gym. This should be on all events. The only events where we don't allow them to bring friends is at Christmas parties. Otherwise, they can always bring friends. Christmas parties, I'm not going to go into the story as to why, but no Christmas party friends. Just go 5 people, right? Then you want to set up a quarterly referral drive, right? So, you run everything every quarter, charity boot camp, seminar, referral drive, just on auto repeat. In the marketing 101 plan, it's all like mapped out. I'll bring it up for you, like what month you need to do it. It's nice and easy, so you can all do it in unison. Now, on LinkedIn, or any questions on referrals? Gaz?
Yo!
Can you just ask the room who has all of these set up in their gym?
Who has everything set up in their
Just
gym?
on referrals. Just on referrals.
Just on referrals. Nobody.
Okay. Well, guys, that's something you can do this afternoon. You can do it this afternoon, right? You can add into your script to, where to ask. We ask at the top. Do you live or work in the area? Oh, awesome. Elise lives in the area. Oh, cool. Elise, where do you work at? Cole Crawford. Oh, awesome. Are you coming in by yourself, or is the crew coming in with you? Right? Then at your point of sale in your consultation, when you're doing a sit down, just add a piece of paper to it. On the back, like after they sign their debit, right? They've just signed up for 28 days. Just go, look, if you want to come in, do you have 3 friends who would like to do the challenge with you? Because we find that, people who do it lose more weight than those who don't do it with their friends, right? You can give them incentives. Dan honestly knows his stuff a bit more than me on incentivizing things and stuff like that, which can work, but you just got to have a system and then track it and then see how you go. The quarterly referral drive you guys could add in, but you can really do this today, which is great. Because if you only get 2 extra referrals a week, guys, that's 100 a year, right? And everyone looks at this stuff like, oh, it's a lot to implement. Even if it's only 1 lead a week, which is nothing, right? That's 50 a year, which is probably your whole month of leads that you actually need to grow your business, because you guys probably don't need 80 at the moment. You probably only need 30, 40, 50, right? And then that's a whole month. You could turn off your ads if you wanted to, but you're not going to do that because you want to go faster, right? Okay. LinkedIn. So I've been doing a lot
of work on LinkedIn.
The massive strategy, but it's the same as our Facebook Messenger strategy and our Instagram strategy. You're going to have to go into Sales Navigator or your searches. I might do another video on this if Dan wants. But you're finding people in your local area and local businesses, and you're reaching out to them, and you're starting conversations, a bit like all the same tactics that we do on Instagram and Facebook. This is still in its testing phase at the moment. So I wouldn't go running and doing it today, but in another 90 days, I'll have a lot more data for you on how it works. But we're getting some pretty favorable results at the moment. Does anyone use LinkedIn at the moment? I know Fiona Keeble probably does.
Keeble, do you use LinkedIn at all?
Imagine she doesn't. I thought she was a recruiter. All right. Okay. So LinkedIn, not going to cover it, but it's going to be an amazing source, especially for corporates. I'll just get you guys actual data on it. Now, local groups. So we have our group like Northern Beaches Health and Fitness. You guys have probably seen it. Hopefully you're in it. But essentially every time you get a new friends request on your personal page is you'll invite those people to like your groups, right? I think that Dan runs a really good group. Dan, what's your group called? The one for the trainers?
Fitness Business Accelerator.
Fitness Business Accelerator. I would just copy his strategy and turn it into a gym specific one. But essentially you're inviting all that friends to the group. I love how he does his live videos. The content's really good. I saw lately, I'm not on my Facebook much, but I saw Gaz was posting a little bit. Josh posted an awesome testimonial last week. It's just using that same stuff, but you got to, so any friend each day, your VA is going to go and invite them to join that group. So if you're adding 20 people a day, let's say, 40% opt in, you're growing by 8 people a day, like 40 a week. In space of, a couple of years, you're going to have like 10, 20,000 people in this group. It'll be crazy. Work with your trainers once a month to invite all people to the group. You just do this in a team meeting. Go, guys, grab out your phones. I want you to invite everyone in the local area to the group. You can run fortnightly posts where you incentivize growing your group. You might do a giveaway. We've given away MyZones, 3 free PT, protein, stuff like that, where if they invite 5 friends to the group, which you can track, then they enter the draw and someone, wins a prize. So you're running your live videos within the group. I really like how Dan does it. Again, it's probably like not 100% needed, but it's amazing practice, like depending how busy you are. But I think going live into the group once a week at like 6 p.m., the exact way Dan sets it up would be amazing. You have a ManyChat at the top of the group, so you can get them in your funnel. Let's just see if I'm in this group, because this is my dummy.
Fiona Keeble, while you're doing that, Fiona Keeble wasn't big when she was in recruitment in terms of LinkedIn, okay. But it is on her to-do list.
Yeah, I think, I don't want you to waste your time, unless you want to waste your own time. Let me test it out, figure out the bugs, which we're doing at the moment, and then I can give you like a super easy strategy to do. But of course, if you want to test it yourself, you can go ahead, but you've probably got enough stuff. But you'll see here on the page on the announcements, it's like, thanks for joining our page. Click the group below to get, it's an ebook pack. I'm not sure what it is. We set it up so long ago. And then you'll see Jada just goes on, and every couple of days we'll just thank the people who joined, and then they get subscribed to our bot as well. So then we can start a conversation with them on another platform too. On this strategy as well, Jada has an account called, his name's Matthew Rogers. He's a dummy alias account. What she'll do is she'll go on and add everyone who joins the page as a friend and things like that. So we have multiple alias accounts that we use, because we run this strategy really like kind of like big time over the years, and Connor and stuff didn't want to use their personal page and like flood it. So that's why we created Matthew Rogers. So in the local groups, we'll add everyone as a friend off Matthew Rogers who joins the group. And then it's another lead magnet right there where you can talk to them. Of course, guys, reply to all comments, post 3 times a week to solve your avatar's problem. It works best when your trainers post for you. So you don't want like Matthew Rogers posting all the time or one person posting in the group. It gets a bit tedious. So what you can do is you can get, one trainer to post on Monday, you post on Wednesday, another one posts on Friday. So people are getting a different, little change up of actually who's posting. You need to super curate these groups and teach your VAs how to be like a beast on it. Don't let any other trainers in. Don't let any approved posts in of like people marketing their groups. Like it's absolutely crazy. I'll show you guys screenshots. We probably get like 5 a day. Dan, I'm sure you get the same in your page, like heaps of other businesses trying to add on and tack onto your plan. So just block and delete them. Don't let them in. And your problems are solved, because the reason why I don't like other gym owners in my groups, right? And I'm super like fucking over the top on this, is because if they're using these tactics on you, they're just going to use your group the same way you're using their groups, right? So you've got to be super careful on that. Like go through your groups once a month and just punt any other trainers out of there. If anyone posts anything that's promoting their business, just block and delete them straight out, because this that I'm telling you guys, it's not rocket science. It's just basic
stuff.
Do it on you, and you want to, make sure they're not in your group, profiting off your hard work. And then you post offers every 14 to 28 days. Just based on where you're at with your lead target. But if you guys even implement 25% of this, like your lead target will be like 200 leads a month. It'll be crazy. Next one I won't cover, or any questions at all on the group. The group's a really big one. It works super well. It just takes a bit of time.
Yeah, I would just say, like anything, Jimmy, my Fitness Business Accelerator is a phenomenal group, and I spend all of about 20 minutes a week, maybe 30 minutes a week, about just having a format and then using technology in your VA to deliver on that. So I map I'll do it this afternoon, I map out all my content on a Trello board. VA has access to my Trello board, she schedules everything, she curates all the content, and then it's all done. It's set and forget as we go. So all of this stuff, without a system or without a process, it's a lot of work. So, and I would say, let's just do one at a time. Get one dialed in, create the processes, create the system, and then you're just layering one on top of the other, on top of the other. And it's about identifying which one of these is going to add the biggest amount of value to your business in the year. Let's work on that.
So guys, start with Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
It's the easiest to do. Now, I'm going to be there is no way one person can do this and keep their sanity like an Australian person, right? VAs as well, like they burn out too, the VAs. It's a lot of work. You got to be super understanding that like doing this stuff is very, like we give our VAs like days off every now and then. It's very hard work to do, but you're doing stuff other gym owners won't do. If you're implementing it yourself, guys, you got to do one at a time, and you got to pick the most important things, because you're better off not starting a local group unless you're going to implement it properly. You're better off just not doing it. Okay. So you've got to, see where you're at with your time, and also, whether you can train or hire a VA to do it or whatever. But be super selective with where you're at. Be super selective, because otherwise you'll do 10 things and they'll all be half-assed. You might as well just do one thing super well. Instagram will give you quick results and you'll believe in the program. And then you'll go nuts from there. So any other questions on the groups at all? Nope.
No, Fee just said earlier that she was targeting LinkedIn for down the track because they're going into corporate packages. So
yep. We're doing the same. I'm working with a new gym that's opening in the city. It's like a new franchise that's opening, and we're launching LinkedIn strategies with them because they're right in the CBD, right? So you just go for you guys, maybe if there's time in the calls. But it's probably a thing, guys, like I would just get a VA to do it, and you just make an account, let them, they've got to sign in on a VPN. There's things you've got to with working with a VA, guys, like be super careful. And this is like a caveat for you all on not knowing the regulations with logging into Facebook pages and stuff without VPN servers and everything like that. You've just got to be super careful because your accounts and pages get blocked. That's what, do you know Jono Petrulius?
Yeah.
That's why he got blocked, because he had multiple VAs on his personal page. Right? You can't log in on a personal page and stuff from the Philippines and have multiple people messaging at the same time. So that's why I'm never on my Facebook Messenger, or very rarely, because if Charlotte and I send a message at the same time, there's only so many times you can do that before Facebook like fucks you off and you lose your personal page. So that's why we use VPNs and stuff like that, which are where they're logging in from. It looks like they're from Australia, even though they're not. All right, next one. This is just more events that you can do. You guys should be running this anyway. Charity event, you know, once a quarter. Plan it. Always run it for your clients, guys. Like, we find that when we pick charity events for us, they're never as successful. But when we actually pick an event, you know, say for Elise that, you know, might be big in her life or someone in her family's life, is they're more likely to bring people and it be a better, funner event. You know, I'm sure people have different opinions on that, but that's just what I find within our clubs, that when we're doing it for an actual client and not be like, oh, we're supporting like depression because, you know, Jimmy fucking loves all the depression sites, whatever. Is when we're doing one for a client, it always works a lot better. So try and follow that as much as you can. One community event or every month. So beers and banter, March Madness. There's 1,000 different events you can do. Just do one a month internally for your members where they can bring a friend. Our biggest caveat on events is it easy for them to bring a friend? That's it, right? If it's going to be a fucking nightmare, like for them to bring friends along and for it to be an amazing community event, don't run it. And you want to run differing events. So you can't do beers and banter every month because you might have clients who don't drink. You might do beers and banter one month, and you might do like lawn bowls and rock climbing and beach volleyball or a walk or a hike. Like, you got to change it up. Be careful being one-dimensional, because it's not the events that we like doing, like me personally. Say, for example, like at Code 5 a lot, right? Connor's a very social person, right? He likes going out. He likes having beers. So we get this good mix because, like, now I don't drink, is he'll always want to do like beers and banter and stuff. And I'm like, all got to think what's best for the client as a whole, and not just things you love doing. Next one, seminar once a quarter. Try and get presenters in. Like, you know, we ran a few like with Dan and stuff like that. You know, try and change it up. You can empower your trainers. We find it works really well getting a guest in from outside of the club. Could be a nutritionist, psychologist, whatever it might be. Always have something to upsell off the back of, program, whatever. So you can try and monetize it, make it easy for them to bring friends. And the last one, guys, is upgrade weeks. Once a quarter, call all your low paid memberships, transfer into high paid nutrition or accountability. All you do is you print out your whole entire client list with how much money they pay you per month and go, how can we make Dan pay me $20 more? What programs do we have that Dan's not having? Does he have a MyZone? Does he have protein? And then you're obviously always authentically selling them, because I know Dan's goals really well, but what do we have within the club that Dan's not using that's going to help him be absolutely shredded and not have a dad bod? What's it going to be, right? And then you go and get it. And then you upgrade them once a quarter. You can do it a bit more often. We find once a quarter because it's like a full week job to upgrade them if you have a lot of members.
Jimmy, for charity event, community event, and seminar, transfer them to Zoom. Still planning on running on a platform like Zoom?
Mate, it's a fucking really good point. Like, when we just cancelled all our events, it was probably like a reaction. You know, in these times, it might be, you know, I think that's a great idea, guys. It might be worthwhile running like a community event. I don't know how you do it. It'd probably be like a webinar off the top of my head. But I'm sure, like, as a collective group, we can come up with some amazing community building events that we do online where we can all come together. It might be meditation. There's probably heaps of ideas out there. But yeah, you might have to go virtually for a couple of months. That's for sure.
Perfect. Are these seminars free to your clients and members?
Yeah, generally they are. We've had some free, some paid. It really just depends on who the presenter is.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, confetti. And you look at slipping them into an offer. Slipping them into an offer that's current.
Always. You always want to have like an offer for anyone new who's there. And we're generally always upselling some kind of program or package, whether it's like accountability, Tough Mudder program or something like that. We do retreats a lot, but we're always giving them something to buy at the end.
Yeah. Any other questions? No?
I'd say, guys, like, we put on the VA and like we'll see a shit just after we lost $2.5 grand over Christmas. We're like, fuck, can we afford this? And I pushed through with it and it made us level up our system so much. You know, putting someone on and just look at what the fuck we're going to make this person do for 20 hours a week. How's it going to work for our business? And mainly it's like Unimax for a couple of weeks just to draw out a database system from the fill-in for us to make sure we look over it and then a content schedule. Sounds hard, but it's not hard when you're focused and you're going to pay someone else to do it.
Can
And
I
the
ask?
results come through. So you got to think about that, guys. The amount of time you're spending is super important, and it is money. We're worth more money than that shit.
Can I ask what your budget ended up being?
So we had to go down because we're going to go full time, and then
So full time was worth
1,300 maybe more.
a fortnight, a month. Yep. And
So we're
yeah.
half,
So you're on about 600, 700 a month.
yeah, 20 hours.
Okay, cool.
But Jimmy's price.
But
That was, yeah, that was before.
everyone hit Jimmy up for a discount.
Have a talk to Jimmy, guys. We'll sort this out. Like he said, guys, you can do it yourself. You can teach him everything else, but he's been managing them. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You follow what successful people do and you get the same.
Very nice tip, Josh. Thank you. All right, Jimmy. Mate.
Done. Thank you. So guys, if I'll just cover, if you're wondering on prices, we only have one pricing structure now. It's $1,500 a month full time. Otherwise, I can't help you. I don't like to do stuff half-assed. If you want to get a cheaper VA where you teach them, I'm always going to support 100%, but we only have one pricing structure now. That only started a couple of weeks ago because I believe so much and I don't want to sell people, stuff that they won't get a result because that translates badly on me.
Yeah.
And you should get about 50 leads a month if you really action it.
Cool.
Or the VA actions it.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Any other questions or comments at this stage? Jimmy, I think
Everyone's head looks like they've exploded. I'm just looking around the room. Sunday afternoon.
all I made Kim do was one live video. Now he's going to be like,
He's going to be a content machine.
I'll show you guys. I've broken it down a little bit easier. I have a daily thing that I'll post up there.
Reverse engineer that price too, guys.
A lot of it's really, guys, it takes the actual actioning of stuff, like with a VA, probably takes like an hour or two every day. The reason why you need a VA is because the messaging is so big. There's so many messages on so many different platforms, but it's broken down into a daily and then into quarterly, like Jan, you run your charity, then your seminar. It's like I've tried to make it as systemized and simple as possible.
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, fantastic.
Put in like 10 tasks that you do on a Tuesday. It's not going to take you over like a couple of hours. Like for you guys, it'll probably take an hour. For a VA, it takes a bit longer because they don't know fitness as well as us. So they're not going to type up your weekly email in like 25 minutes. It's going to take them like 2 hours, right? But once you have them for like a year, then they'll start to do it quicker and probably better than you, which is an amazing thing to, have in your business.
When you're onboarding a VA, Jimmy, would you start by like feeding them the content and then just getting them to handle the distribution, or do you actually want them? Do you actually have them create the content from the start?
Yeah, so they create the content for you on a Wednesday. They email it to you on a Thursday for approval, and then it goes out the next week. So you want to teach them how to write it, even though it's like obviously a bit tedious. We try and make it as simple as possible, but teaching anyone's hard. But if you're not teaching your VA how to write for you and do these things, then you're just kind of like, you'll feel in a couple of months like, oh, fuck, I should just do that myself. Right? So you really want to teach them how to do everything. That being said, like the client posts and testimonials are hard because they don't know. You have to do those ones yourself. Like if you're writing about how I lost 10 kilos with you, for example, like they won't be able to do that. They'll be able to jazz it up and make it nicer, but all your other content they should be writing and creating. Instagram stories within the club, obviously you've got to do that, but it takes you like 10 seconds.
Terry, you had a question?
The $1,500 a month that Jimmy was just talking about, is that to have Jimmy's team, like hire Jimmy's team to do all this for you? Or
Yeah, so he'll assign a VA for you, and they will do a lot of this work for
So
you.
rather than us hiring a VA?
Yeah, so that's through, Jimmy's got an agency called Legacy, and that's his digital marketing agency.
So reverse
Yes, to have
engineer
an
that,
agent,
though,
that's
like,
actually awesome.
that's only 2 sales really. So if you're getting your 10 leads a week, you're not converting, it's 2. Like, less, it's a 3 things. So where you have leads and then just like you should do with your ads to figure out that course.
It's really, really cost effective.
That's really.
I mean, Jimmy's saying that can generate 50 leads, right? So 50 leads at $1,500. All right? Per month. Yeah.
Quick question. For the train of the VA, is included in the price or separate?
Because
Like,
like,
you might have changed it.
he might have, I know for us, biggest thing was us, so they understood our vision and our values before we put them into.
I had a VA years ago, and I was paying $600 a week. Yeah, so $1,500.
So guys, on VA, so you know, you can go and hire them directly full time for like $800 a month.
What did you say after that, Jim? After
So that's the thing. So like, it's obviously like really like cost effective. I'm sure there'll be a time with Josh and Elise where they're like, oh, you've taught the VA everything, right? Could be a 6-month deal with Josh and Elise tonight. It's not fucking lifetime because I don't want to like jag anyone. Where you're paying the premium at the moment, because it is a lot more money, is because we have to teach them and they have a manager and they get to do run throughs with Jada, who's done it for like a year. So it speeds up the learning process.
Yeah,
So, but you can go direct, but I'm not like, do whatever you guys feels best, but managing VAs in itself is like harder than you'd imagine. Getting them, negotiating their contracts and non-disclosures, everything like that. It's not an easy task to do. So you've got to have, 3 hours a day just to teach them.
perfect. Thank
But
you.
it is more cost effective. That's how I do it. Like we hire them, charge an add-on, rent them out to gyms until they don't need the education anymore. It's easy.
And then what happens when they don't need the education anymore?
You just message me and go, I think we're all good. And we go, okay, cool. And then you guys just pay them directly.
Done.
So it's not like it's not a lifetime thing, guys. It's just, if you want to get them taught in this stuff, then, it takes me a lot of time and effort to teach them, and they have a manager and stuff, but it's not going to be 1,500 forever, because once they learn this after, a couple of months and they're following it, then, I'm not going to teach them anything new. So you just take them.
Cool. All right. Fantastic.
Cool.
Dan?
My head is exploding.
No, I need
Whose
to
head is exploding right now? Yeah, everybody in this room. Jimmy head, you got Jimmy head. Jimmy head.
Yeah. Well, this stuff, like, guys, it took me like 10 years to learn. Like, this is like my life's work, this marketing plan. So, my head exploded over many years, but, it's going to explode your business if you action it.
So, Jimmy, a couple of things. Are you able to put both that sheet in the Game Changer group as well as the daily sheets as well?
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
Fantastic.
Easy. Dan, I'll put them in as a Google sheet because it's a live document. If I learn anything new, I add it in for you guys.
Okay.
So I wouldn't save or download the document because you might miss some absolute gold along the way if I learn anything new that I don't present on.
As well as your Messenger sales script as well.
Yeah.
You guys have a script with some pretty legit resources.
And if you do want to hit Jimmy up, just what's the best way for them to ask further questions, Jimmy?
And not have your VA.
And not have Charlotte reply back?
Your link to chat. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Use your scheduling.
Yeah.
Look at it
Guys,
on-
if you want to chat with me about a VA, please don't use the Game Changer link because like I only have like 6 bookings a week. So I don't want, if you're talking about something non-ad related, for like people to jump in on that because other people might miss out. If you want to talk to me about VAs, just private message me. I'll be on my Facebook tonight until like 10. But if not tomorrow, Charlotte will pick it up and then she'll send you a link where we can, chat for 30 minutes and find out, what the best option is for you. If you want one, if you need one, and whether it works in your budget. I'll manually send you that link because otherwise I don't want people to miss out because I'm probably going to have a lot of specific questions for people who want to implement it themselves. So just private message me and we'll have a chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy.
Let's give him a round of applause. It's a great name. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
All right, we have recorded that, and that will be